Hello guys, in this video I will show you how to save data from VBA form to MS Access database. We will use custom classes for this, and here is our form that we will use. So let me show you various modules and classes that I'm using here. First, let us have a look at the classes. This is the candidate class. It will be used to store information related to the candidate, like candidate's name, experience, qualification. And then we have clsDatabase. It is used to open connection, close connection, and save data. We have three methods here. Then we have selection process class, clsSelectionProcess. It is used to hold values related to the selection process. These values: screening, shortlisted, telephonic, technical, HRround, and so on. It has properties like screening cleared, Boolean type of property to save true or false value. Similarly, we have other properties which are mostly Boolean, and some are date and double as well. Now let us have a look at the submit details button. Here we have some validations first. Then we are storing the data to the database using submit candidate info. Let me bookmark it. So this function has an object to store the information of candidate. So here we are storing all the values in the properties. As soon as we type, let me show you something here. Because obj candidate variable is an object of clsCandidate class type, control spacebar to complete the name. As soon as I press the dot key, it will show me the properties available in the class. So we can use any property to set it or get it, like this. It can be any name, like, okay. So this is exactly what we have done here. With obj candidate, the name of the object variable, dot name is equal to frm candidate, this form, dot txt name dot text. We are getting the name that we will fill in the form and saving it in the name property of this object variable. Similarly, we are storing qualification from the form to this property. Let us have a look at the property and see how it looks like. As you can see, here we have get qualification, and here we have let qualification. It is a string type property, and what we are doing here is that we are getting the value of qualification, meaning that we are fetching the value of this property, and in case of let, we are setting the value of the property. Basically what we are doing is that we are using this variable declared in this module. Here you can see the mQualification variable that is being set in the let property, let qualification. This v qualification is the parameter that is passed as a value to this property. Let me show you again. Qualification is equal to frm candidate dot cbo qualification, which is a combo box dot text. So this value will be saved to this property. Let me have a breakpoint here. Similarly, we will set experience property, and then we have selection process. Selection process further has these properties. Now how it works, let me show you. Obj candidate dot selection process is the property of this obj candidate object, and this property is further an object. It is not a string or any other primitive data type property. Let us go to its definition and see. So here you can see the property. Its data type is clsSelectionProcess, this class. So being a class type, it becomes an object, right? So in objects, there is a little difference. Here we are using set instead of let to set the value of this object variable or property. So let us go back. So selection process class has these properties: screening cleared, shortlisted, telephonic, and so on. We can have a look at the properties here. Every property name has two methods, I can say, or two types of properties: property get and property let, to set and fetch the value of the property. Okay, so now if I put a dot here, it will show me the list of all those properties available for the selection process object. So this is really interesting, and this is so easy. You don't have to remember anything. IntelliSense works for objects. So in this block, all the properties of object candidate and object selection process are set. Then we need to save this data to the database. For that we need to use the class database. Here we have three methods here, so we'll use it. Obj database is an object variable of this type, so we can type obj database dot open connection, the name of the method. See, as soon as we press dot, we will get the list of all the methods and properties belonging to CLS database. But in this case we don't have any properties. You can differentiate between methods and properties looking at the icon. For example, here this green icon means that it is a method, and we already had a look at the properties. Let me show you again. These members having a hand are properties. So this is how we can differentiate between methods and properties. So we are using open connection to open the connection, then saving data. We will discuss it in more detail, and then we are closing the connection. So this is important. While saving data, what we are doing is that we are passing obj candidate as a parameter, this object that we just set here. So this is being passed as a parameter. So what does it mean? Let me show you the save data method. So it is accepting V candidate as CLS candidate. So it is accepting this as an object. So we are passing this object here, which will be used in this method to save the data. So here we are using this object to get the name, qualification that we previously set. So this way we can get all the values from the properties. We will see how it fetches the values of the properties, because we have set and get properties. So while setting the properties, it uses let, and while fetching the name or fetching the qualification, it uses get. We will see soon. So here we are getting the values of properties related to the selection process: vCandidate.SelectionProcess, dot screening cleared, dot shortlisted, and so on. Then we are saving data to two tables. Basically the first table belongs to the candidate, where we are saving data here, and the second table belongs to the selection process. For that we are saving data here. Because data is being saved in two tables, we should use transactions. Here you can see that we have used begin transaction that belongs to the connection object, and at the end we are committing the transaction, and if any error occurs we are using rollback transaction to roll it back so that nothing is saved. So what is the benefit after using transactions is that either both the tables will have the data, or none of them will have anything. So it maintains the data consistency also. So let us now run it and see how it works. Notice period. Now what happens is that date of joining is a read-only field. It will automatically get updated as I change the notice period here. It is 30/9/2019. It has become 1/10 and so on, and it is changing according to the notice period. Now I'm going to submit the details and let's see what it does. Now here we are setting the values of these properties. Let us see, it is using the let property, and the value of this variable has been set using this parameter. The variable is declared in this module only, which is a private variable because we need not use this variable outside this module, so it is declared as private, whereas all the properties are public. That is why we can use it outside this module. So let us move further. Now qualification, again going to let qualification. It is setting the value of the m qualification variable using this parameter. It has been set. So similarly it will do for rest of the properties. And now let us dig into the selection process property. This is an object type, so we need to use set here to assign any value to the object variable. Okay, so here we have declared this type of variable already. Now we are instantiating it here. So now it will go to this selection process class to set these properties, and it is again using the let property to assign the value to the variable that has been declared in this module only. So it will do this for all those properties available in the CLS selection process class. Having done that, now it will save the values using save data, and let us have a look at this object variable now. I will show you the locals window. Here our object candidate variable is. You can see the values that have been set. These are basically the variables, and this is the property. We have rest of the properties here. So obj candidate has this property as well, which is an object. So we can see that it has all those properties already set. Some are true, some are false, and some have values. So it has been set and it is being passed to the save data method. Let us debug it further. So it has also been set. Let us again have a look at the locals window. So this is our parameter. Again, those values are here with us. Now we can use these values to save the data to the database. So we are beginning the transaction here. Now it will open the record set for the first table, which has the name candidate. I will show you the tables as well. Let me do that. Yeah, here are the two tables that we will use. Some of the data is already there. So let us proceed with the code. So now let us have a look at how it gets the value from this parameter. Now it is using the get property. Now get property will use the variable name that was previously set by the let property. So this variable holds the same the value that is Gagan, and the name will be used to return the value back, just like we use in case of functions. So here we have the value. Yeah, so similarly we can proceed and save the record. So here we are using the field ID that was auto generated. So the ID is 25. I am getting this ID because I want to use it in the second table, that is the selection process table. Here we are using this ID to store candidate ID in other table, so that later we can get this relevant information for the candidate from this table as well. So it is setting it. Now it will go to this class to get the value that is stored in this property. It is using get again and getting the value from the variable that was set here. Yeah, similarly for rest of the properties. Now let us have a look at date of joining. Here we have done something special. Here we are using the notice period property and adding it to the current date to get the date of joining. So it is not always necessary to use both let and get properties. So we can skip any of these as per our requirements, use it like this. So it is getting the notice period using the property again, because here we are using the notice period. We could have used the variable as well, this variable. It won't make any difference. The date of joining is with us. Now we are going to save data in another table as well, but notice that the data has not been actually saved anywhere because we have not committed the transaction so far. Now the data has been saved and it will return true back to the calling statement. So it has returned true, the variable holds true. Now we are closing the connection and exit function. So here we are checking the value that has been returned by this method, and if it is true, it will show the message that data has been saved successfully, else it will show the failure message that it could not save the data. So we are done, data has been saved. Let us have a look at the tables. So this is the data that we saved, and let us have a look at the table as well. So here we have that candidate ID that we got from here. So I hope everything is clear in this video. If you have any doubt, please let me know. Thank you for watching.